pay insufficient attention to the frightening scenario of a comprehensive cyber attack, which would bring to a complete halt to the power supply, transportation, hospital services. The COVID-19 crisis would be seen in this respect as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber attack.
If you are smart enough, you will know who I am. But you are really not smart enough to know who I am. But soon you're gonna know who I am. Very easy.
Wow, very easy. The entitlement.
No, believe me, I'm much better than that.
The entitlement, guys. Wow.
If I was a governor here, I would be afraid, because all of these people in China, military age, India, military age, even myself, I'm military age. And there's a question is coming up in here, one scary question. If an incident between US and China occur in Taiwan, what these people do? Are they come aside of US or they take China's side? Don't know, and no one's know.
What was the route you took from Iran?
Come to Turkey, and Turkey to Mexico, Mexico to United
So
States.
what would prevent a terrorist from doing the same thing?
Nothing. Exactly nothing.
That's scary.
Real scary. I'm telling you, a friend, if you see Europe, the people, politician in Europe is sleeping out. Well, like, don't be offended, but Joe Biden is sleeping at the moment.
It's terrible.
It's far more than terrible. Not for US, for the all of the war. Just look at the war. We have 3 wars. We have sanction. We had a recession in the entire planet. Everyone say I'm wrong, but if you like it or not, if
say hello to the people. Hello to the people. I didn't know who it was. Our streets. Out, out, out. Look at that, folks. A fucking sea of Irishmen. Sea of Irishmen and women.
Now, I've said this before. If you give me 3 meals, housing, child care, education, a voucher for $9,000, you know what? I come to Chicago too. And that's what they're doing. They're telling people, and they're sending money back to back to Venezuela, to come to Chicago because they're saying, hey, the good times are rolling there. They're taking care of everybody. Now, when we have Venezuelans that are driving cars, where'd they get a driver's license? Where did they get insurance from? And then you have Venezuelans being caught with drugs and guns. Where are they getting them from?
Packs of Chinese males of military age, unattached to family groups, pretending not to speak English. These are probably saboteurs who are coming in on the first day of war with Asia. In Asia, I think that we're going to see acts of sabotage, assassinations, detonation of bombs, starting wildfires. And the Biden administration is paying no attention to this.
World Economic Forum says that we will experience a massive cyber attack that will hit before the year 2025, which will lead to a massive collapse of the banking industry, infrastructure, and so much more. How do they know this? It's unbelievable. Someone who's been following this very, very closely, and it ties even more directly into the story that we've been covering here on the show about the CTI leak files, the Michael Schellenberger released files about the cyber spying on Americans. We're going to get to that part of the story with independent journalist Whitney Webb, who I'm thrilled to welcome back to the show. Whitney, welcome back to Redacted.
Hey, it's great to be here after a long absence. Thanks for having me back.
Of course, we wouldn't miss the opportunity. So thrilled to have you back here. So let's talk about this World Economic Forum idea that at the second in command at the World Economic Forum that we are going to see a massive cyber attack hitting before the year 2025, pointing out, in great detail, like this is going to happen, so you better be prepared for it. Why are they saying this, and who are they going to try to point the finger at?
Right. So this was said at the WEF annual meeting earlier this year in January by the WEF managing director, Jeremy Jurgens. And Jurgens, as well as the WEF itself, has been involved in a series of simulations for several years now that I'm sure a lot of people in your audience are familiar with, called Cyber Polygon, which has been directly affiliated with Russia's government, as well as some of Russia's biggest banks and some of the biggest commercial banks.
This is why I think they're going to shut down the grid, dude. Because what's going to happen is the unity voice is going to get so loud, and then they're just going to shut the whole thing down. Because it's like flipping the game table over, right? Like, you're going to lose, you're about to lose, you're like, F it. And you flip the game over, and that's what they're going to do, bro. Yeah. They have the ability to do it. You better start thinking about what's going to happen if that happens.
Let's just say the power grid goes out. Okay? Yeah. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
I know.
I just don't know when it's going to happen. Meaning, is it going to be in 2024 during election year because they're scared shitless that Trump could actually win? Is it going to be next 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? I believe it's going to happen. You best just do whatever you can to be ready for it. Some people are maybe saying, well, I don't have the kind of money. You guys got the money and da-da-da-da. This isn't about money. There's ways of preparing in different ways based on the kind of resources you got. Protect your family. How do you do it? You have to do a little bit of research, a little bit of studying for yourself to find out if that were to happen. Do you have a small generator? Do you have certain things set aside? What method of payment will you use? If you don't have any cash, or if you don't have, what other things do you have to protect your family? I do believe it is something worth talking about with your family to be prepared for this, because I think something like this is going to happen next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. And by the way, I do believe it's going to be worse than COVID, because at least with COVID, you can stay home, still communicate with others. With this, you stay home. Your internet, security, gate, lights, it's mayhem. Everything's gone. So what do? You just got to be prepared for it.
On today's episode of Predictive Programming, let's talk about the Book of Eli. It was released in 2010 and is a post-apocalyptic story where the most sought-after possession is the Bible. At 37 minutes and 23 seconds in, the poster on the wall is timestamped 2024, programming the beginning year of the collapse.
China's hackers are positioning on American infrastructure in preparation to wreak havoc and cause real-world harm to American citizens.
You know, I try to keep this channel lighthearted, but I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't give you a warning. We have Chinese, Iranian, and fucking Russian hackers actively targeting civilian infrastructure. That's your cell towers, electrical grid, banking system, water purification. We have known terrorists coming up through the fucking southern border. We have an international world war. We have a local fucking civil war going on. Life as we know it is about to change. You need to take out cash every month. If the banking system goes down, the grid goes down, you have no access to your money. That cash is only going to be good for maybe 6 months, and you're going to have to go back to the old school trade and barter system. Stock up on ammunition, weapons, medical supplies, pain management supplies, learn how to do water purification, fortification of your environment, tactical training, medical training, because one day when this shit goes down in the very fucking imminent future, somebody like me, if you stock up on food and shit, somebody like me is going to kick down your fucking door, kill your family, take all your shit because I got to provide for mine. This is not a joke. I'm not joking. If you think I am, you've already lost.
PRC hackers are targeting our critical infrastructure, our water treatment plants, electrical grid, oil and natural gas pipeline, transportation systems.
SUVs dropped off dozens of migrants who illegally breezed right through a border wall. There were more than 1,300 Border Patrol apprehensions in the San Diego sector yesterday alone. 1,100 were single adults, with more than 160 from China and 120 from Vietnam.
What underpins a world order is always the financial system. And what we're seeing in the world today, I think, is we are on the brink of a dramatic change where we are about to, and I'll say this boldly, we're about to abandon the traditional system of money and accounting and introduce a new one. And the new accounting is what we call blockchain. It means digital. It means having a almost perfect record of every single transaction that happens in the economy, which will give us far greater clarity over what's going on. It also raises huge dangers in terms of the balance of power between states and citizens. Most people think that digital money is crypto and private, but what I see are superpowers introducing digital currency. The Chinese were the first. The U.S. is on the brink, I think, of moving in the same direction. The Europeans have committed to that as well.